So I'm gonna have to try to do this by hand because all of my camera equipment is in here buried, or maybe it's up there buried. I don't know, but I can't get it easily. So I'm gonna talk about real quick is, even though this is my first cross-country trip, I'm 600 or so miles in with one of these rooftop bags, and I feel that that's enough to definitively say, as an expert, whether or not you should get one of these. All right, so that's what this video is going to be about real quick. So if we kind of move over here a little bit, you can see this is the brand that I have, a Right Line gear. I got it from Academy Sports, and it holds a good amount of stuff. Now, there's a couple things with these rooftop bags that I talked about before. You've got a couple of choices. You can go with this soft cover, which is, it's not leather obviously, but it's supposed to be waterproof, durable, and all of that, as opposed to a hard case. The hard cases are obviously hard. You don't have to worry about the brain obviously, but again, with the big forehead, but they're smaller, so not as rigid. Now, as you can see, there's a couple problems. One, I don't have crossbars. And I talked about this in before, but that's a problem because this keeps slipping back and forth. The other thing is, when you've got loose stuff right here, it hits against this when we're going like 70, 80 miles an hour, and it's a very annoying sound. So this is why I have the Retneck solution of, duct tape, okay? So, couple things. Obviously, if you get a good one that's waterproof, you don't have to worry about rain. It's rained a little bit so far, we haven't had to worry about that. But I do want to show you one thing here. My hand gets in the way. I'm going to try and move it over here real quick. Let's see. Right there. First of all, no shout out to flex tape or whatever you want to call it, because they're supposed to be the bomb according to the commercials and everything, and I got the tape and the tape keeps coming off, so I should have gotten the spray. The only reason I got the tape was because the tape and the spray and the kind that you paint on are all the same price. Like, you're not getting any price breaks on this Flex Seal. So if I had known that the tape would not stay on, I would have gotten the spray, and now it's gonna have to stay like that. But as I mentioned in the other video yesterday, I started getting a little breakage in this. So if you've got any hard edges in this bag from boxes or anything that's squared off, I would not put them up here. My advice, if you're going to use a soft cover, unless it's some super expensive, really, really durable, I mean, this wasn't cheap. This was like 80 bucks. And that's not the biggest amount in the world, but it's certainly better than $40 or $20. I would have expected breakage or rubbing from something that was $40, not 80. So my advice to you, regardless, is if you're going to use one of these, the very first thing you should do is put all rounded, soft things in it, and anything that's hard edges or rigid, put that in your car. So if you've got any, any of these in here, if you've got stuff like this, I wouldn't put that up there. Now, I've seen some videos where people have done it or said they have done it, but I believe they probably had those things get destroyed after using them for a number of days. If you do that, it'll probably be fine. The other thing is, it depends on what kind of trip are you taking. Like, if you're driving to a specific destination, like only one or two, you're gonna be there a few days and come back, use this, because you're not gonna have to stop and start and pull stuff down all the time. I'm on a road trip of epic proportions where we're gonna be visiting storefronts, businesses, parks, museums, in and out of the car, okay? That's a bit of a problem with something like this, because all my stuff is up there and I can't go anywhere and leave this alone. So what that means is, even though I have extra stuff, I'm going to have to figure out a way to rearrange everything in this car in such a way that I can get this off of the roof for the days that we're going to be going in and out of storefronts or places. The other thing I have to worry about, of course, is the bikes. Now, I'll put those on locks, but still, that's a much bigger concern than the bikes are going to be. So if you're going to go one or two places and you're not going to be having to break it down, these are good. If you've got nothing but a lot of soft items, duffel bags, things like that, put them up there. If all of your stuff is packed in hard cases, things with hard edges, squared off edges, I wouldn't use a soft case. I get a hard case or put them in the car. Otherwise, you're going to get some sort of breakage at some point in the material, and once that happens, of course, your waterproofing is done. Okay, so basically that's it. What I'm going to do now is start breaking this car down and try to find some extra room, even if I can barely see out the back of the window, for our trip tomorrow.